Lance Armstrong, a dope or a hero? I'm Hyla in Hollywood, and this is the Daily Buzz on CelebBuzz.com.
Everybody wants to know what I'm on. What am I on? I'm on my bike, busting my ass 6 hours a day. What are you?
That was a Nike ad from 2001 with Lance taking those doping allegations way back then and throwing them back in our face. Today, despite the fact that Nike has now dropped him, he still stands by his innocence. Joining me is licensed clinical psychologist and success coach, Dr. Sam Van Wright. Dr. Sam, let's get right to this. He says his teammates know exactly who won all these titles. I actually want to read the exact quote that he gave to the United States Anti-Doping Agency. It starts out by saying, quote, "I've been dealing with claims that I cheated and I had an unfair advantage in winning my 7 tours since '99. I know who won those 7 tours, my teammates know who won those tours, and everyone I competed against knows who won those tours." Dr. Sam, well, now his teammates are saying, yeah, buddy, you didn't win them. So despite the fact that he believes that he still remains innocent, is this guy just delusional, or does he really believe he hasn't done anything wrong?
Well, I actually think that, unfortunately, this is a classic case of narcissistic ambition run amok. And while Lance's indignation is really palpable, back in August, I mean, I felt a lot of compassion for him. He felt he was getting a raw deal, and that's what he was saying. But the fact that he's standing by his story after over 1,000 pages of evidence and testimony does suggest a certain distorted sense of reality, which we often see with narcissistic personalities, which there's a lot of evidence that this is what we're looking at in this case.
Well, it's also important to point out that he's never ever tested positive. So he at least has that one shred of evidence on his side. Is it a case now that he's been telling this lie for so many years and for so long, he's actually convinced himself of it?
It's difficult to know whether he's actually convinced himself. However, he has convinced himself that he is entitled to this story. Whether or not he actually believes it. And, there is a kind of magical thinking that we see in people who are that narcissistic, which again, while theoretical, I'm assuming that it's true in this case, that they kind of start believing themselves after a while, or at very least, that they are special enough that it's okay to keep lying.
Now, we love to build people up, make them into these super gods, and then tear them down. Michael Jackson first comes to mind, and there's a million other celebrities that I could mention. Why do we love doing this?
I think that humans need heroes. And whether it be the royals or movie stars or sports heroes, we need people to look up to. It's a very, very basic human need. And particularly in the last century, when religion was playing a less prominent role, I think we have felt more compelled to create these superhuman figures. And Lance Armstrong is just the last in a long line of many, many figures who have really crumbled under the weight of their own pride, their own ego.
Dr. Zen, we participated in a Twitter party earlier today using the hashtag #TheDailyBuzz. One of the questions that we threw out there, I wanted to know, did people care that he cheated in a sport, despite the fact that he has raised over $500 million in cancer research? I just want to read you some of our tweets here. First, from Tatiana, she writes, "There's definitely other ways to help charity. Cheating is just the easy way, not the right way." Karate with a Z wrote, "I think that Lance was making up for being a cheat by doing the cancer thing." Allison Hobbs wrote, "Drugs are bad. Using them sets a bad example. Raising cash for cancer is good. He may not be a bad person, but he did a bad thing." And finally, Felicia wrote, "Not at all. He brought awareness to a great cause, and that's all I really ask for." And you know what? My opinion, if you're raising $500 million, $500 million to try and get rid of cancer, I say cheat all day. You'll have the final word here. We just have a couple seconds.
I do, I think that it's important for us to make a clear distinction between Armstrong and Livestrong in this case. And I think that you can do amazing things and make some major, major mistakes. So I think that, I think discrediting Livestrong would be definitely throwing the baby out with the bathwater. But I also think that it's important that we not deify him. He did appear here to make some major mistakes, and he's going to be facing the consequences of that for a long time.
Dr. Sam, thank you so much. It's a tough question because without him cheating and winning a bunch of tour titles, we wouldn't have Livestrong. Let us know what you think about this topic. Use the hashtag #TheDailyBuzz. And for the latest stories breaking in Hollywood right now, head on over to celebbuzz.com.